Dr. Hyun-woo Park rubbed his tired eyes and stared at the computer screen. The numbers made no sense. For 3 days, he had been watching strange signals come from space. These were not normal radio waves from stars or planets. Something was sending messages, and they were not meant for humans. The sole deep space communication array was quiet at night. Most workers had gone home hours ago. Only Hyun-woo and a few others stayed to watch the night sky. He was a xenolinguist, which meant he studied alien languages. For 20 years he had waited for this moment. First contact with beings from another world. But this was different. This was not aliens trying to talk to Earth. This was aliens talking to each other about Earth. Lee Yun-ha walked into the control room carrying 2 cups of coffee. She was the best communications specialist in Korea. Her job was to catch signals from space and make them clear enough to understand. "Still working on those weird transmissions?" she asked. Hyun-woo took the coffee and nodded. "Look at this pattern. The signal comes from Proxima Centauri, but it's not aimed at us. It's going toward the edge of our solar system, like someone is talking to someone else about us." Yun-ha sat down at her workstation. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. Numbers and wave patterns filled her screen. "You're right. This is definitely not random noise from space. Someone is sending coded messages." The door opened, and Dr. Nam Tae-min hurried in. He was breathing hard from running. Tae-min was a quantum physicist who studied how the smallest parts of the universe worked. He looked excited and scared at the same time. "I got your emergency message," Tae-min said. "What did you find?" Hyun-woo pointed to his screen. "We intercepted something big. The signal is encrypted, but I've been working on it for hours. I think I'm starting to understand parts of it." The 3 scientists gathered around Hyun-woo's computer. On the screen were symbols that looked like nothing from Earth. Some were sharp and angular, others were curved and flowing, but slowly patterns were becoming clear. "This symbol keeps repeating," Hyun-woo said, pointing to a mark that looked like a broken circle. "And this one appears every time before a new section starts." He pointed to something that looked like 2 triangles touching at their points. Yun-ha was running the signal through her analysis programs. "The signal strength suggests this came from very far away, but it's also very powerful. Whoever sent this has technology far beyond ours." Tae-min was studying the quantum signatures in the transmission. "This is impossible," he whispered. "The quantum entanglement patterns in this signal. They're using technology we only dream about. They can send messages instantly across vast distances." For the next hour, the 3 worked together. Hyun-woo decoded symbols. Yun-ha cleaned up the signal quality. Tae-min analyzed the quantum patterns. Slowly words began to form. Then sentences. Then a message that made their blood run cold. "I think I have something," Hyun-woo said. His voice was shaking. "This part here, it's written in an old trade language. I've seen similar patterns in ancient Earth manuscripts. Traders from different civilizations used simple languages to do business across space." "What does it say?" Yun-ha asked. Hyun-woo read slowly. Terminate the aberrants before they achieve stellar mobility. The humans show signs of the awakening. Execute Protocol 7 immediately. The room became silent. The only sound was the humming of computers and the distant traffic from Seoul streets below. Terminate means kill, Taemin said quietly. Aberrants means something wrong or different. Stellar mobility means traveling between stars. Yunha was pale. They're talking about us. Humans are the aberrants. Hyunwoo continued decoding. More words appeared on his screen. There's more. Species classification, rapid technological advancement detected, territorial expansion patterns match historical awakening indicators. Shepherd fleets authorized for immediate deployment. Shepherd fleets? Taemin asked. I think those are warships, Hyunwoo replied. Ships sent to terminate us. Yunha was working frantically at her computer. I'm tracking the signal path. It came from Proxima Centauri, but it's being relayed to multiple locations. Look at this. Her screen showed a map of nearby star systems. Red dots marked where the signal was being sent. They're organizing, she said. Multiple alien civilizations are being told about us. The door burst open. Director Kim Jun-ho rushed in. He was the head of the entire facility. Behind him came several military officers and government officials. News traveled fast in South Korea's government when it involved potential threats. Dr. Park, Director Kim said, we received reports about an important discovery. What have you found? Hyunwoo looked at his colleagues. Yunha nodded. Taemin took a deep breath. There was no choice but to tell the truth. Director, we have intercepted alien communications, Hyunwoo said. They are not trying to contact us. They are planning to attack us. One of the military officers stepped forward. Attack? What kind of attack? Taemin explained the quantum signatures and advanced technology. Yunha showed the signal pathways reaching multiple star systems. Hyunwoo translated more of the alien language. As they talked, more pieces of the message became clear. The aliens called themselves the Dominion. They had been watching human civilization for decades. They had rules about which species were allowed to grow and explore space. Humans were breaking those rules. According to this, Hyunwoo said, we have shown signs of something they call the awakening. Species that awaken are considered dangerous. They must be stopped before they can travel to other stars. But we just launched our first faster-than-light ship last month, Director Kim said. The Mugunghwa is barely beyond Jupiter. That's probably what triggered this, Yunha realized. They were waiting for us to prove we could travel between stars. Now that we have, they want to stop us. The room filled with urgent discussion. Military leaders talked about defenses. Government officials worried about public panic. Scientists debated the meaning of the alien language. But Hyunwoo kept working. There was more to decode. As the night went on, the full scope of the threat became clear. The Dominion was not just one alien species. It was an alliance of many civilizations. They had been controlling the galaxy for thousands of years. Any species that grew too fast or spread too far was eliminated. The Dominion called it maintaining balance. Humans called it genocide. We need to warn everyone, Taemin said. The president, the military, Other countries. The whole world needs to know. And we need to contact Captain Ji Hee on the Mugunghwa, Yunha added. If alien fleets are coming, our people in space need to be ready. Director Kim was already making phone calls. Within hours, emergency meetings would begin in every major capital on Earth. But Hyun-woo knew they might not have much time. The last part of the alien message was a timeline. The Shepherd fleets were already moving. They would reach Earth's solar system in less than 2 weeks. Humanity's first contact with alien life would not be a peaceful greeting. It would be a fight for survival. And according to the intercepted message, no species had ever survived Protocol 7. The signal wasn't meant for humans. But they had heard the warning anyway. Now they had to decide what to do about it. Captain Yoon Ji-hee floated in the command center of the Mugunghwa, humanity's first faster-than-light starship. The ship was beautiful and deadly, built with the best technology Earth could create. Ji-hye had been proud to command her. Now she felt like she was commanding a target. The emergency transmission from Earth had arrived 3 hours ago. Dr. Park's decoded alien message changed everything. Humanity was not alone in the universe, and their new neighbors wanted them dead. "Captain," said Lieutenant Commander Lee Dong-wook from the communications station, "we're receiving another priority message from Seoul Command." "Put it through to my private screen," Ji-hye said. She had been expecting this call. Admiral Ko Sang-ho's face appeared on her display. He looked tired and worried. As the head of the Earth Space Defense Force, he had not slept since the alien transmission was discovered. "Captain Yoon," Admiral Ko said, "I need to brief you on new developments. Dr. Park's team has decoded more of the alien communications." Ji-hye listened as the Admiral explained what they had learned. The aliens called themselves the Dominion. They were not one species, but many, all working together to control which civilizations could grow and explore space. "They have rules," Admiral Ko continued. "Species that show rapid technological growth are watched. If they develop faster than light travel, they are tested. Species that pass the test are allowed to join the Dominion as junior members. Species that fail are eliminated." "What kind of test?" Ji-hye asked. "That's the problem, Captain. There is no test. According to the decoded messages, the Dominion has not accepted a new member species in over 3,000 years. Every species that reaches faster-than-light travel is classified as aberrant and marked for termination." Ji-hye felt cold despite the ship's warm atmosphere. "So they never intended to let us live?" "Correct. The awakening they mentioned is not a test to join them. It's a death sentence. They eliminate any species that might eventually challenge their control." On the main screen, Ji-hye could see Earth as a small blue dot in the distance. Her ship was currently near Jupiter, testing new engine systems. Now she realized they might be the last humans to die free in space. "Admiral, what are our orders?" "Return to Earth immediately. We're organizing a defense fleet. Every ship we have will be needed." "With respect, sir, how many ships do we have?" "That can fight an advanced alien civilization?" Admiral Ko was quiet for a moment. 17 combat-capable vessels, the Mugunghwa and 16 smaller ships, against an enemy that has controlled the galaxy for thousands of years." After the call ended, Ji-Hai gathered her senior officers in the briefing room. The Mugongwa carried a crew of 43 people, all volunteers who had trained for years to explore the stars. Now they were preparing for war. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ji-Hai began, "you've all heard the reports from Earth. We are facing extinction at the hands of an alien alliance called the Dominion. They have superior technology, superior numbers, and thousands of years of experience." Chief Engineer Choi Min-soo raised his hand. "Captain, what are our chances?" Ji-Hai looked around the room at the faces of her crew. These were good people, scientists, engineers, pilots, and soldiers who had dreamed of exploring the galaxy. Now they might die defending their home planet. Honestly, the chances are not good. But we're human. We don't give up just because the odds are bad. Dr. Bae Soo-jin, the ship's chief scientist, was studying data on her tablet. "Captain, I've been analyzing the quantum signatures from the alien transmissions. Their technology is definitely more advanced than ours, but it's not magic. It follows the same basic laws of physics we understand." "What does that mean for us?" asked Weapons Officer Park Hae-won. "It means they can be fought. Their ships can be damaged. Their systems can fail. We just need to find the right way to hurt them." Communications Officer Lee Dong-wook looked up from his station. "Captain, I'm detecting multiple faster-than-light signatures approaching the solar system. They're still far away, but they're coming fast." "How many?" Ji-Hai asked. "At least 3 large vessels. Each one is bigger than anything we've ever built. They'll reach Earth's orbit in 10 days. Ji-Hai made her decision. "Set course for Earth, maximum speed, and send a message to Admiral Ko. Tell him the enemy is coming faster than we expected." Back on Earth, the world's governments were in emergency session. The Seoul Deep Space Array had become the most important building on the planet. Dr. Park and his team worked around the clock to decode more alien messages. "I'm getting clearer pictures of how the Dominion operates," Dr. Park told the assembled leaders via video conference. "They divide the galaxy into sectors. Each sector has shepherd fleets that patrol and enforce their rules." "What rules?" asked the president of South Korea. "Species cannot develop faster than light travel without permission. Species cannot expand beyond their home solar system. Species cannot develop quantum communication technology. Any species that breaks these rules is eliminated." The president of Russia leaned forward on the screen. "How many species have they eliminated?" Dr. Park's face was grim. "According to the data I've decoded, at least 47 civilizations in this sector alone. Some were eliminated for developing advanced weapons, others for trying to contact civilizations in other star systems. A few were eliminated just for asking too many questions about the Dominion. Yunha was monitoring alien communications from multiple sources." "The bad news is getting worse," she reported. "I'm detecting signals from at least 12 different star systems. The Dominion is mobilizing forces from across this entire region of space." Taemin looked up from his quantum analysis. "But I found something interesting. The Dominion's communication system relies on quantum entanglement, just like ours. But their version is more complex. If we could disrupt it, we might be able to blind them." "How do we disrupt quantum entanglement across multiple star systems?" asked General Park Young-min, head of South Korea's military. "I'm not sure yet, but I'm working on it." Meanwhile, other countries were mobilizing their own defenses. The United States was preparing their orbital defense platforms. Russia was launching additional military satellites. China was activating their experimental energy weapons. For the first time in decades, the world was truly united against a common threat. But everyone knew the truth. Earth's weapons were designed to fight other humans, not advanced aliens. Their ships were built for exploration, not war. Their defenses were meant to stop missiles and aircraft, not spacecraft that could travel faster than light. Dr. Park continued decoding alien transmissions. The more he learned, the more desperate their situation became. The Dominion had been watching humanity for over 50 years. They knew about Earth's weapons, their technology, their military capabilities. They had planned this attack carefully. "There's something else," Dr. Park announced during another emergency briefing. "The Dominion doesn't just eliminate civilizations. They erase them. After the Shepherd fleets finish their work, they destroy all traces that the species ever existed. They delete historical records, destroy ruins, even sterilize planets to remove all biological evidence." "Why?" asked the Prime Minister of Japan. "To prevent other species from learning that resistance is possible? If a civilization manages to fight back successfully, other species might get ideas. The Dominion wants every species to believe that submission is the only choice." Yunha suddenly looked up from her console. "I'm getting a new transmission. This one is different. It's not in the trade language. It's in Korean?" Everyone turned to look at her screen. Slowly, words appeared in perfect Korean text. "Humans of Earth, we know you have intercepted our communications. We know you are preparing to resist. This message is your final warning. Surrender now, and your deaths will be quick. Continue to resist, and your species will suffer before extinction. You have 7 Earth days to decide. Choose wisely." The room was silent. The aliens knew they were listening. They knew Earth was preparing to fight, and they were giving humanity one last chance to surrender. President Kim looked around the room at the gathered leaders and scientists. "What is the consensus? Do we surrender and hope for a quick death? Or do we fight?" Dr. Park thought about his daughter, who was studying engineering at university. Yunha thought about her younger brother, who wanted to be an astronaut. Tai Min thought about all the scientific discoveries that would never be made if humanity was erased from the universe. "We fight," Dr. Park said. One by one, every person in the room agreed. Earth would not surrender. Humanity would not go quietly into extinction. The signal wasn't meant for humans, but they had heard it anyway. Now they would show the Dominion what happened when you threatened the wrong species. The Shepherd ships arrived exactly when the alien message had promised. 3 massive vessels dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of Earth's solar system. Each ship was over 2 kilometers long and looked like a mixture of metal and living tissue. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Captain Yoon Ji-hai watched from the bridge of the Mugunghwa as the alien ships appeared on her screens. Her small fleet of human vessels looked like toys compared to the massive Shepherd ships. But she had not come here to run away. "All ships, this is Captain Yoon," she broadcast to the 17 human vessels spread across space near Earth. Remember, the plan. We show strength, but we don't fire first. Let them make the first move. Admiral Ko Sang-ho was aboard the flagship Sejong, positioned between Earth and the alien ships. His face appeared on Ji-Hai's communication screen. "Captain, the aliens are sending a transmission. They want to talk." "Put it through to all ships," Ji-Hai replied. "Let everyone hear what they have to say." The transmission that came from the lead shepherd ship was unlike anything humans had ever experienced. The voice seemed to come from inside their heads rather than through speakers. It spoke perfect English, but with an accent that sounded like music mixed with static. "Humans of the third planet, we are the shepherds of the Galactic Dominion. We have come to implement Protocol 7. Your species has violated the fundamental laws of cosmic order." Ji-Hai activated her own transmission system. "This is Captain Yoon Ji-Hai of the Human Space Fleet. We are prepared to discuss the situation." There was a pause. Then the alien voice returned, and it sounded surprised. "You have armed vessels. This was not expected. Most aberrant species surrender immediately when shepherd fleets arrive." "We are not most species," Ji-Hai replied. Another pause. Then a different voice spoke. This one was deeper and sounded older. "I am Shepherd Commander Veltar. In 3,000 years of service, I have eliminated 43 aberrant civilizations. None have ever assembled a military response. This is interesting." The lead shepherd ship moved closer to the human fleet. As it approached, more details became visible. The ship's hull seemed to be alive, with sections that pulsed like a heartbeat. Strange lights moved along its surface in patterns that looked like flowing water. "Your vessels are primitive," Commander Veltar continued. "Your weapons are crude. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Why do you choose to die fighting instead of accepting peaceful termination?" Admiral Ko activated his transmission from the Sejong. "Because we choose to live fighting instead of dying peacefully." On Earth, Dr. Park and his team were listening to every word. They had been working frantically to learn more about Shepherd technology. Engineer Choi Min-soo had discovered something important about the alien ships. "Captain," Min-soo's voice crackled, "over the emergency frequency, the Shepherd ships use organic computing systems. Their hulls are not just metal. Parts of them are actually alive. That might be a weakness we can exploit." Dr. Bae Soo-jin was monitoring the quantum signatures coming from the alien vessels. "I'm detecting massive energy readings, but they're not charging weapons. They're doing something else. Some kind of scanning." "They're studying us," Ji-Hai realized. "They want to understand how we think before they kill us." Commander Veltar's voice returned. "We have completed our analysis of your species and your vessels. You show remarkable creativity in your technology, but creativity cannot overcome reality. We offer you one final choice." The largest shepherd ship moved even closer. Now it was close enough that human sensors could detect individual sections of the alien vessel. It was even more strange up close. Parts of it moved like muscles. Other sections glowed with soft, pulsing light. "Submit to technological regression and planetary isolation," the commander continued. We will destroy your faster-than-light capabilities and restrict you to your home system. Your species will live, but you will never travel to the stars. And if we refuse? Jihai asked. Then we implement Full Protocol 7. Your species will be eliminated. Your planet will be sterilized. All evidence of human civilization will be erased from the universe. Jihai looked around her bridge at her crew. These people had volunteered to explore the stars and find new worlds. Now they were being told they could live only if they gave up their dreams forever. Commander Veltar, Jihai said, I need to consult with Earth's leaders before giving you an answer. You have one of your hours to decide. The communication ended. Jihai immediately opened a channel to Earth. President Kim appeared on her screen, along with other world leaders and the science team from Seoul. Captain, President Kim said, what is your assessment of the situation? The alien ships are more powerful than anything we have, Jihai replied honestly. But Dr. Bay and Engineer Choi have found potential weaknesses. Their technology is biological. That means it might be vulnerable to things that would hurt living creatures. Dr. Park leaned into the camera. Captain, we've been analyzing the Shepard communications. They use a rigid command structure. If we could disrupt their ability to coordinate, we might have a chance. Taemin nodded. I've been working on a way to interfere with their quantum communication system. It's theoretical, but it might work. Ambassador. Park Hae-won had been quiet during the discussion. Now she spoke up. Have we considered accepting their offer? Staying in our solar system forever might be better than extinction. The room was silent. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Was survival worth giving up humanity's future in the stars? Jihai made the decision for all of them. With respect, Ambassador, I've seen what's out there. The universe is vast and beautiful and full of wonders we can't even imagine. Asking humanity to stay locked in one solar system forever is like asking us to stop being human. President Kim nodded slowly. Captain, you speak for all of us. We will not accept permanent imprisonment. Then we fight, Jihai said. The communication ended. Jihai opened a channel to all human ships in the fleet. All vessels, this is Captain Yoon. In 30 minutes, we will give the shepherds our answer. Prepare for combat. This is not a battle we expected to fight, but it's a battle we must win. On the bridge of the Mugunghwa, her crew made final preparations. Weapon systems were charged. Defensive shields were raised. Emergency protocols were activated. Dr. Bae Soo-jin was working frantically at her science station. Captain, I think I've found something. The Shepard ships are using bioelectrical systems. If we could generate the right kind of electromagnetic pulse, we might be able to disrupt their living components. Engineer Choi Min-soo looked up from his console. I can modify our weapons to produce that kind of pulse. It will take most of our power, but it might work. Do it, Jihai ordered. Across the human fleet, similar preparations were being made. Ships that had been built for exploration were being turned into weapons of war. Scientists were becoming soldiers. Explorers were becoming fighters. The hour was almost over. Commander Veltar's voice returned. Humans, what is your decision? Jihai activated her transmission one final time. Her words would be remembered in human history forever. Commander Veltar, we have considered your offer carefully. We appreciate that you are giving us a choice between submission and death. But you forgot that humans always find a third option. What third option? Victory, HFY said simply. We choose victory. The reaction from the shepherd ships was immediate. Energy readings spiked across all three vessels. Weapons systems that had been dormant for centuries came online. The organic hulls began to glow with dangerous light. This is not possible. Commander Veltar's voice had lost its calm tone. Aberrant species do not have the capability to threaten shepherd fleets. Commander, HFY replied, you're about to learn something new about humans. We don't care what's supposed to be possible. The first shots of the war between humanity and the Galactic Dominion were about to be fired. But they would not be fired by the shepherds, who expected easy victory against a primitive species. They would be fired by humans, who had heard a warning, not meant for them, and decided to step forward into danger rather than backward into safety. The signal wasn't for humans, but the war that followed would show the galaxy what happened when you threatened the wrong species. Captain Lim Do-hyun had never expected to lead a suicide mission on humanity's first day of galactic war. His ship, the Cheonji, was one of the smallest in the human fleet. It was fast, lightly armed, and perfect for the desperate plan that Admiral Ko had approved just minutes before. All ships, this is Admiral Ko, came the voice over the fleet communications. Execute Operation Blind Strike. Captain Lim, you are authorized to proceed. Do-hyun looked at his crew of 8 volunteers. They all knew the plan. While the main human fleet engaged the 3 shepherd ships in direct combat, the Cheonji would use its speed to reach the quantum communication relay that the aliens had, established at the edge of the solar system. Helm, set course for the relay station, Do-hyun ordered. Maximum speed. Engineering, I need everything you can give me. Lieutenant Kim Yon-seo was at the navigation console. Course plotted, Captain. The relay station is heavily defended, but it's small and automated. If we can get close enough, we can destroy it and cut off the shepherds from their command. Structure, Do-hyun finished. Let's go show these aliens what human creativity looks like. The Cheonji shot away from the main battle at maximum acceleration. Behind them, the first exchange of fire between humans and aliens lit up space with brilliant flashes of energy. Captain HFY watched from the Mugunghwa as shepherd weapons tore through the void where her ship had been moments before. The alien energy beams were incredibly powerful, but they were also slow to aim. Human ships were smaller and faster than anything the shepherds had fought before. All ships, evasive maneuvers, HFY broadcast. Don't try to trade shots with them. Use your speed. Make them work for every hit. Engineer Choi Min-soo had finished modifying the Mugunghwa's weapons systems. Captain, electromagnetic pulse weapons are ready, but I need to get close to their ships for maximum effect. How close? Close enough to see their hull details. HFY smiled grimly. Then that's where we're going. Helm, take us in. The Mugunghwa accelerated toward the nearest shepherd ship. The alien vessel was massive, over 2 kilometers of living metal and organic technology. As they got closer, the human crew could see details that their sensors had missed from a distance. Dr. Bei Su-jin was studying the alien ship through the science station. "Captain, I'm detecting neural activity in their hull. Parts of their ship are actually thinking. It's like flying toward a giant brain." "Can we hurt a giant brain?" Ji-hai asked. "We're about to find out." The shepherd ship fired its main weapon at the approaching human vessel. The energy beam missed by less than 50 meters, close enough that the Mugunghua's hull glowed from the heat. "Return fire," Ji-hai ordered. "Hit them with everything we have." The modified electromagnetic pulse weapons fired directly into the organic sections of the shepherd ship. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Sections of the alien hull began to convulse like wounded muscle. Lights that had pulsed in steady patterns started flashing randomly. "It's working!" Min-Su shouted. "Their bioelectrical systems are disrupted. They're losing coordination." Commander Veltar's voice came over the communications, but now it sounded strained and angry. "Impossible! Your primitive weapons cannot harm shepherd vessels." "Commander," Ji-hai replied, while her ship fired another electromagnetic pulse, "you might want to look at your hull readouts." The damaged shepherd ship was trying to return fire, but its weapons were no longer aiming properly. Energy beams shot wildly into space, missing human ships by huge margins. Meanwhile, Captain Lim Do-hyun was approaching the quantum communication relay. The small station was orbiting beyond Pluto, a complex array of crystalline structures that looked like frozen lightning. "Captain," reported Lieutenant Kim Yeon-seo, "I'm detecting automated defense systems. The relay has weapons." "How many weapons?" "More than we have." Do-hyun made a command decision. "Emergency power to forward shields. We're going straight at them." Sometimes in war, the best strategy is to do something so crazy that the enemy doesn't know how to respond. The Cheonji charged directly at the relay station. The automated defenses fired streams of energy at the small human ship. Most of the shots missed because the defense system was designed to fight large vessels, not something as small and fast as the Cheonji. But some shots hit. The human ship's shields flared and began to fail under the assault. "Shields at 30%, reported Engineering Officer Lee Hyun-ki. "We can't take much more of this." "We don't need to take much more," Do-hyun replied. "Weapons target the main relay crystal. Fire everything we have." The Cheonji's missiles and energy weapons struck the heart of the communication relay. The crystalline structures began to crack and shatter. Strange light flickered and died as the quantum entanglement. Systems failed. Back at the main battle, the effect was immediate. All three shepherd ships suddenly seemed confused and uncoordinated. Their formation broke apart. Their weapons fire became even more erratic. Dr. Park's voice came over the emergency frequency from Earth. "Captain Ji-hai, we're monitoring the alien communications. They've lost contact with their command structure. They're cut off from the rest of the Dominion." "Good," Ji-hai replied. "Now they have to fight us without help." But the shepherds were far from defeated. Commander Veltar's ship had recovered from the electromagnetic pulse attack. The organic hull was adapting, developing resistance to the human weapons. "Humans!" The commander's voice was filled with rage. "You fight like vermin. You use tricks instead of honor. You attack our communications instead of facing us directly." Admiral Ko's voice answered from the flagship Sejong. "Commander, we fight to win. If you wanted honor, you should have picked a fair fight." The human fleet had spread out across a wide area of space, forcing the three shepherd ships to divide their attention. Every few minutes, a human vessel would dart in close to an alien ship, fire electromagnetic pulses at the organic systems, then retreat before the shepherds could respond effectively. Dr. Oh Seung-min had been watching the battle from Earth's orbital defense station. As a weapons specialist, he had been working on ways to improve the electromagnetic pulse attacks. "All ships, this is Dr. Oh," he broadcast. "I've been analyzing the shepherd ship responses to your attacks. Their organic systems are learning to resist the electromagnetic pulses. But I think I know how to overcome their adaptation." "What do you need?" asked Jihai. "I need you to coordinate your attacks. Hit all three ships at exactly the same time with maximum power pulses. Their defense systems won't be able to adapt to multiple simultaneous attacks." It was a dangerous plan. To coordinate the attack, all human ships would have to expose themselves to enemy fire at the same time, but it might be their only chance to do serious damage to the Shepherd fleet. "All ships, this is Admiral Ko," came the order. "Prepare for coordinated assault. We attack in 60 seconds. Captain Jihai positioned the Mugunghwa for another close approach to the lead shepherd ship. Around the battlefield, other human vessels moved into attack positions. Each ship had only one chance to make this work. 30 seconds, Admiral Ko announced. The shepherd ships seemed to sense that something was happening. They began to move into a defensive formation, trying to protect each other from the expected human attack. 10 seconds. All ships prepare. To fire. Jihai could see the massive alien vessel growing larger on her view screen. The organic hull was pulsing with energy, ready to resist another electromagnetic attack. Fire! 17 human ships fired their modified weapons simultaneously. Electromagnetic pulses struck all three shepherd vessels at exactly the same moment. The effect was devastating. The organic systems on all three alien ships convulsed and failed. Neural networks that had controlled the vessels for centuries went dark. Weapons systems shut down. Propulsion failed for the first time in 3,000 years. Shepherd ships were floating helpless in space. Impossible. Commander Veltar's voice was weak and filled with disbelief. The Dominion has never... No species has ever... Commander, Jihai replied, you made one mistake. You assumed that humans would fight the way other species have fought. But we don't follow the same rules as everyone else. The battle was not over. The Shepherd ships were damaged but not destroyed. Their organic systems would eventually recover and adapt. But for the first time, humanity had proven that the mighty Dominion could be hurt. More importantly, they had proven it to themselves. The signal hadn't been meant for humans, but they had heard it anyway. And now they were writing their own message back to the galaxy. Humanity would not go quietly into extinction. Pilot Kim Jae-won had been flying combat missions for only 6 hours, but he was already developing new ways to fight that no human had ever imagined. His fighter, the Arirang, was darting between the massive shepherd ships like an angry wasp, striking at weak points that the aliens didn't even know they had. "Control, this is Jae-won," he reported over the comm system. I'm seeing something interesting about these alien ships. They have blind spots in their sensor coverage, big ones. Captain Ji-Hi's voice came back from command. Explain, pilot. Their ships are so big that they can't track small, fast targets that get close to their hulls. It's like trying to see a mosquito that lands on your nose. I can fly right along their hull surface and they can't hit me. This was exactly the kind of creative thinking that made humans dangerous. Other species had tried to fight the shepherds with massive ships and powerful weapons. Humans were using small, fast fighters to exploit weaknesses that no one else had even noticed. Dr. Ryu Hyojin was aboard the science vessel Huang Ho, studying captured shepherd technology from the damaged alien ships. What she was learning changed everything humans thought they knew about the Dominion. Captain Ji-Hi, Dr. Ryu broadcast on the emergency science frequency, I've been analyzing debris from the shepherd ships. Their technology is not as advanced as we thought. Explain that, Doctor. They just tried to exterminate us. Yes, but their technology is old. Very old. Some of these systems haven't been updated in thousands of years. The Dominion became so powerful that they stopped innovating. They've been using the same weapons and the same tactics for millennia. Commander No In-Soo was listening from his position aboard the tactical command ship Taebaek. As a strategic warfare specialist, he immediately understood what Dr. Ryu was saying. Doctor, are you telling us that the Dominion has become stagnant? That they stopped developing new technology? Exactly, Commander. They've been so successful at eliminating emerging civilizations that they never had to adapt or improve. They're fighting us with ancient weapons and prehistoric tactics. But we're developing new tactics every hour. No realized. Every battle teaches us something new about how to fight them. This was the key insight that would change the war. The Dominion had become comfortable in their role as galactic rulers. They had not fought a real war in thousands of years. Every species they encountered either surrendered immediately or was quickly eliminated. Humans were different. Humans adapted. Pilot Jae-won was demonstrating this adaptation in real time. He had discovered that shepherd ships had trouble tracking multiple small targets simultaneously, so he was coordinating with 5 other fighter pilots to confuse the alien targeting systems. All fighters, follow my lead, Jae-won broadcast. We're going to try something new. The 6 human fighters split up and approached the largest shepherd ship from different angles. The alien vessel tried to track all 6 targets at once, but its ancient targeting system became confused. Weapons fire went in 6 different directions, hitting nothing. It works! Shouted Pilot Park Min-jung from her fighter, the Gangsan. Their computers can't handle multiple simultaneous attacks. Commander Veltar's voice came over the communications, and for the first time, he sounded worried. How are you doing this? Our defense system should be able to track and eliminate all of your primitive craft. Commander, Captain Ji-Hi replied, your defense systems are designed to fight the kind of war you've been fighting for 3,000 years. But we're not fighting that kind of war. Meanwhile, Commander No In-Soo was developing an even more ambitious plan. If the Dominion's technology was truly stagnant, then humans might be able to turn the aliens' own systems against them. Dr. Ryu, No broadcast, can you determine how the shepherd ships communicate with each other? I'm working on it, Commander. Their communication system uses quantum entanglement, but it's a very rigid protocol. They don't seem to have updated their encryption in centuries. Can we break their encryption? Give me 20 minutes. While Dr. Ryu worked to crack the alien communication codes, the battle continued to evolve. Human ships were learning to fight in ways that the shepherds couldn't understand or counter. Captain Lim Do-hyun had returned from his successful mission to destroy the quantum relay. Now his fast ship, the Cheonji, was being used as a mobile command center, coordinating attacks across the entire battlefield. All ships, this is Captain Lim, he broadcast. I want to try something that's going to sound crazy. We're going to coordinate our attacks not just in space, but in time. The plan was complex but brilliant. Instead of attacking all at once, human ships would attack in a carefully timed sequence. Each attack would force the shepherd ships to respond, but before they could complete their response, the next attack would hit from a different direction. It's like a musical composition, explained Dr. Bae Soo-jin from her science station. Each attack is a note in a larger melody. The shepherds will be constantly reacting but never able to get ahead of our rhythm. The timed attack sequence began. The Mugunghwa fired electromagnetic pulses at the lead shepherd ship. As the alien vessel began to respond, the Sejong attacked from the opposite direction. Before the shepherds could adapt, fighter squadrons hit them from above and below. The effect was devastating. The shepherd ships were trapped in a constant state of reaction, never able to mount an effective counterattack. Impossible. Commander Veltar's voice was now filled with something that sounded like fear. Your species should not be capable of this level of tactical coordination. Commander, replied Admiral Ko from the Sejong, you keep saying things are impossible, but we keep doing them anyway. Maybe you need to update your definition of impossible. Dr. Ryu's voice suddenly came over the comm system, excited and triumphant. I've broken their encryption. I can access their internal communications. What are they saying to each other? Asked Ji-hai. They're panicking. They've never encountered resistance like this. They're requesting reinforcements from the Dominion Central Command. Commander No saw an opportunity. Dr. Ryu, can you send false messages through their communication system? I think so. What do you want to tell them? Tell them that the human fleet is much larger than it actually is. Tell them we have advanced weapons that we haven't used yet. Make them think they're facing a military force that matches or exceeds their own. Dr. Ryu began sending false information through the Shepherd communication network. Within minutes, the alien ships were receiving reports of massive human fleets approaching from multiple directions, advanced human weapons that could destroy, Shepherd vessels with single shots, and human technology that was somehow superior to Dominion systems. None of it was true, but the Shepherds believed it because it was coming through their own communication channels. The psychological effect was immediate. The 3 Shepherd ships began to retreat from Earth, falling back toward the edge of the solar system. They're running away, reported pilot Kim Jae-won from his fighter. The mighty Dominion is running away from us. But Commander Veltar was not ready to give up completely. His voice came over the communications one more time, filled with rage and desperation. Humans, you may have won this battle, but you have only delayed your extinction. The Dominion has fleets throughout the galaxy. They will come for you with overwhelming force." "Let them come," replied Captain Ji-Hai. "We'll be ready." "You do not understand the power you have challenged. The Dominion has ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. They have eliminated hundreds of species. They have technology beyond your comprehension." "Commander," Ji-Hai said calmly, "you're making the same mistake now that you made when you first arrived. You're assuming we'll fight the next battle the same way we fought this one. But humans don't work that way. By the time your reinforcements arrive, we'll have learned new ways to hurt you." The Shepherd ships continued their retreat, but they were also sending detailed reports about human capabilities back to Dominion Command. The next time aliens came to Earth, they would be prepared for human creativity and adaptability. But humans would be prepared too, and they would have something the Dominion had never encountered before: the knowledge that the mighty galactic rulers could be beaten. The signal hadn't been meant for humans, but they had heard it anyway. Now they were sending their own signal back to the galaxy. Humanity was awake, and they were not going back to sleep. Dr. Wan Kyung-soo had never expected to become a galactic liberator. 3 months ago, he had been a computer scientist working on quantum databases. Now he was staring at the most important discovery in human history: the complete database of the Galactic Dominion. The data had come from the damaged Shepherd ships that humans had captured after the first battle. Dr. Ryu's team had cracked their encryption, but Dr. Wan had gone deeper. He had found the master database that contained records of every civilization the Dominion had encountered in 10,000 years. "Captain Song," Dr. Wan called to Captain Song Yu-na, who was commanding the Liberation Fleet from the bridge of the new ship Dokdo. "You need to see this." Captain Song looked at the data streaming across Dr. Wan's screens. Numbers, star charts, and alien languages filled the displays. But the meaning was clear and horrible. "How many?" she asked quietly. "Over 2,000 civilizations," Dr. Wan replied. "All of them suppressed or eliminated by the Dominion. Some were destroyed completely, others were forced into technological stagnation and kept as slave species." "Are any of them still alive?" "Many of them. The Dominion doesn't always kill entire species. Sometimes they just destroy their technology and keep them as primitive societies. It's more efficient than genocide." Captain Song studied the star chart showing systems under Dominion control. Red markers indicated eliminated species. Yellow markers showed suppressed civilizations. There were hundreds of yellow markers. "Dr. Wan, can you identify which systems have living populations that might be freed?" "I'm working on it." "But Captain, there's something else. The database contains the technical specifications for all Dominion technology. Their ships, their weapons, their communication systems. We know exactly how their entire military operates. This was the breakthrough that would change everything. Not only did humans now know about the thousands of civilizations suffering under Dominion rule, they also had the technical knowledge to fight the aliens effectively." Captain Song opened a communication channel to Earth. Admiral Ko's face appeared on her screen, along with the other military and political leaders who were coordinating humanity's response to the galactic threat. "Admiral, Captain Song reported. Dr. Wan has cracked the Dominion database. We have intelligence on their entire operation across the galaxy. What have you learned? The Dominion is not as strong as they pretend to be. They control the galaxy through fear and deception. Most of their military is spread thin across thousands of systems. They rely heavily on the belief that resistance is impossible. Dr. Wan leaned into the camera. Admiral, I've identified 47 star systems within 50 light-years of Earth that contain suppressed civilizations. These species have been kept in technological stagnation for hundreds or thousands of years. If we could free them and share our technology, we could build a coalition, Admiral Ko finished. Instead of fighting the Dominion alone, we could unite the galaxy against them. Exactly. But we need to move fast. The Dominion is mobilizing a massive fleet to eliminate humanity. According to their communications, they're bringing ships from dozens of systems. We have maybe 6 months before they arrive in overwhelming force. Captain Song had been studying the tactical data. Admiral, I recommend we begin liberation operations immediately. My fleet is ready to begin freeing suppressed civilizations. How many ships do you have? 37 vessels, including the new ships we've built using captured Dominion technology. It's not a large fleet, but it should be enough to start the process. The decision was made quickly. While Earth continued to build defenses against the coming Dominion counterattack, Captain Song's Liberation Fleet would begin freeing suppressed civilizations and building a galactic alliance against the aliens. The first target was a system called Kepler 442, where a species called the Valthara had been kept in pre-industrial conditions for over 1,000 years. According to the Dominion database, the Valthara had once been advanced scientists and engineers before the Shepherds destroyed their technology. Captain Song's fleet arrived at Kepler 442 to find a world that looked peaceful from space. Cities and farmland covered the continents. But there were no satellites, no space stations, no signs of advanced technology. Captain, reported Communications Officer Li Dongjin, I'm detecting radio transmissions from the planet. Basic communications, but nothing more advanced than early 20th century Earth technology. Any sign of Dominion presence? One automated monitoring station in orbit. It's broadcasting a suppression field that prevents the development of advanced electronics on the planet's surface. This was exactly what Dr. Wan had predicted. The Dominion didn't need to station fleets at every suppressed world. They just used automated systems to keep civilizations locked in technological stagnation. Weapons officer, Captain Song ordered. Destroy that monitoring station. The human fleet's weapons made quick work of the alien device. As soon as it was destroyed, changes began happening on the planet below. Electronic devices that had been mysteriously failing for centuries suddenly began working again. Radio signals became clearer and more complex. Captain Song opened a communication channel to the planet. This is Captain Song Yuna of the Human Liberation Fleet. We are here to free your people from Dominion oppression. The response came quickly, in a language that the ship's computers had learned from the Dominion database. Unknown vessels. This is Council Leader Theron of the Valthara. We do not understand. The Sky Watchers have been silent for the first time in 1,000 years. Our instruments are working again. What has changed? Council Leader Theron, Captain Song replied. Your people were kept in technological stagnation by an alien empire called the Dominion. We have destroyed their suppression systems. Your civilization is free to advance again. There was a long pause. Then Theron's voice returned, filled with emotion that transcended species barriers. Free? We are truly free? Our ancestors spoke of a time when our people reached for the stars, but we thought those were only legends. They were not legends. Your people were once an advanced civilization. We have the records. We can help you rebuild. Over the following days, the liberation of Kepler 442 became a template for future operations. Human engineers worked with Vile-Thara scientists to rebuild their technology. Human doctors shared medical knowledge that had been lost for centuries. Human teachers helped the Vile-Thara understand their own history. But the most important thing humans shared was the knowledge that the Dominion could be fought and defeated. Captain Song, said Dr. Wan as he reviewed reports from the planet, the Vale-Thara are already contributing to our cause. Their scientists have insights into quantum mechanics that could improve our faster-than-light engines. How is that possible? They've been suppressed for 1,000 years. Scientific knowledge doesn't disappear completely. It gets passed down in stories, in religious texts, in half-remembered traditions. Now that they can use advanced instruments, again they're rediscovering what their ancestors knew. This pattern repeated itself across dozens of star systems. Each liberated civilization brought new knowledge, new perspectives, and new determination to fight the Dominion. The Zephyrians were master engineers who improved human weapons. The Crystari were mathematicians who enhanced navigation systems. The Thornax were warriors who taught new combat tactics. Ambassador Li Dongjin was coordinating the political aspects of the liberation. He had established the Free Worlds Coalition with representatives from 37 liberated civilizations. The coalition's charter was simple: mutual defense against the Dominion and the right of all species to develop freely. Captain Song, Ambassador Li reported, the coalition now has over 400 ships from different species. More importantly, we have shared technology that is superior to Dominion systems in many ways. How is that possible? The Dominion has been the dominant force for 10,000 years. Because they've been stagnant for 10,000 years, they stopped innovating when they achieved galactic dominance. But these suppressed civilizations never stopped thinking, never stopped dreaming of freedom. Now that they can build again, they're creating things the Dominion never imagined. The final test came when the Dominion's revenge fleet arrived at Earth. Over 300 shepherd ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, expecting to find a single human world defended by primitive vessels. Instead, they found a coalition, fleet of over 1,000 ships from dozens of species, armed with hybrid technology that combined the best innovations from across the galaxy. Commander Veltar, who had survived the first battle, transmitted his surrender before the fighting even began. "This is impossible," he said, his voice filled with the despair of a broken system. "The Dominion has maintained order for 10 millennia. The galaxy cannot function without our guidance." Captain Ji Hai, now Admiral of the Coalition Fleet, replied from the bridge of her flagship Mugunghwa. "Commander, you made the same mistake that every tyrant makes. You confused fear with respect, suppression with order, and stagnation with stability. The galaxy doesn't need your guidance, it needs freedom. The war that followed was not really a war at all.